This is Jacked here today. This is Miguel from Jacked here today. This is Migs from Jacked here today. This is Gucci Migs from Jacked here today. Those are all my names. My actual name is Miguel, so pleased to meet you. I'm actually going to say my name for once because I realize I don't say my name ever. So yeah, I'm going to give you guys a pure Ddd Decklist. I went back to pure. I was playing the Elvis Ddd for a bit. That was just for fun at first, but I actually started getting pretty good and I was testing it for a while. Jump back to pure, and of course pure is just always the best. It's just amazing. Ended up taking it to locals on Tuesday this week, so that ended up being it was a 12-person local. That was our biggest online one. We usually have like a lot of people like before COVID, like as in like Master 04 we'd have like usually like a low was like under 20. We usually had like 30 to 40. So this is our most attended locals for virtual virtual tournaments. So 12 people, 4 rounds. I actually won the local. I went undefeated, only one game in 3. That was against my guy in round 2. He's gonna watch this, my guy Nick. He was playing 8-axis OTK. I lost game 1, then 2 and 3 I just came back and won. So yeah, other than that I won all the other ones. Matchups were like, first one was just a buy. It was just Warrock, Floodgate, Nibiru and stuff like that. It was just weird. That was just a buy for me. And then round 3 was Invoke Shadal 2-0. And then my boy Jared playing Dragon Link, so that was a 2-0 too. So yeah, the deck's really well. I am playing some hand traps that actually really work with the deck. I can show you the reason why I'm playing certain cards and what I am playing now, what I'm finding is working most effective for me in this format. I'm actually not playing any Xyz right now, and I'm finding that's working completely fine. I find I actually never really need to go into Xyz. I'd rather just link climb and just kill my opponent, and the synchros can do the job most of the time. If I'm not going to out your board, I'm not going to out your board. Like, you're probably not going to let me climb into a Dingirsu or whatever, into a Zeus. You know what I mean? So I could side Kali-Yuga. I actually realize I don't have Kali-Yuga in my side right now, but I find it's not super effective against the decks right now anyways. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep you guys updated. I'm going to try to do these every month. That's kind of what I've been doing. Every month is like a new format kind of thing. And update my list and just kind of show you guys what I'm playing in these lists. I feel like every month is a good update status for the pure build and stuff, and for what you guys should be looking to play in your builds, what you guys want to, like what's best suited for the meta, what's going around, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to jump right into my deck profile. Hope you guys like it. Yeah, I'll see you on my deck mat. So let's dig right into the deck profile. 40 card spot, 15-15 of course. Let's just jump right in here. I'll explain my ratios as I'm going along. A little bit different ratios than normal, I think. I don't know. Definitely not for the standard pieces though. Standard pieces: 3 Swirl, 3 Necro, 3 Kepler, and 3 Lamia. No argument here. You play 3 of all these. These are all your main combo pieces. This is what revolves around the deck. These are all revolved around your whole combo, so you max out all of these. In fact, people question if they can play 2 of this and 1 Typhon. Honestly, doesn't, like, Necro Slime is usually to summon the Vice Typhon. Only thing is, Necro Slime is, well, yeah, like it's usually, Necro Slime is usually always used to summon the, the level 8, which Vice Typhon does. I have played Vice Typhon before, like 2 and then 1 Vice. I usually only do it though for an extra extender if I'm doing if I want to do like a random like combo heavier. Like I was playing like a Phantom Knight, when I was playing like Phantom Knight, what's it called? Phantom Knight, with the Phantom Knight package with the, oh my god, the Sacred Beast engine. I had a build of that a while ago and I was playing that because it was just allowing me to extend, and it actually offered like an IP play and stuff like that. So really up to you, but these are all searchable too, and they're level 1, so you can like normal summon this, trigger a Where Art Thou, stuff like that. And it's also a reveal. You're playing Desires and Jack, and then it's also a reveal, right? Like max out on all these. Up to you if you want to play Typhon, but personally for me, and I really think you should just max out all these because they are your main combo pieces, and it's what every single combo in the deck realistically revolves around. So yeah, you're gonna standardize all 3 of those. Sorry, the last 3 of that should be standard. This should be a standard 3 of Ragnarok. You want to see this, you can just banish off Allure if you see too many. Great card to have in the graveyard for an extender. Great card to outboards. Great cards. It's part of your combo for most part. Great card to play around Nibiru. It's like a really good extender, right? And out certain target banish is really good too. That comes up quite a bit for OTKs. And yeah, this card's just really good. Like, it's phenomenal. Just play it at 3. It's one of the best. It's like your main deck boss monster almost. And for 1-ofs, I'm actually playing 1 of this. I only had room to play 1, and I find it's no different than playing 3. Like, this card is perfectly fine at 1. Deck's just as consistent, just because you're playing quite a few consistency cards. You can play this at 1. I actually like having it at 1, but you can play it at 2 too as well. Doesn't matter. It isn't hindering the deck whatsoever. Apocalypse, Ghost, and Rage. So we're playing Apocalypse for the combo. Realistically, it's a decent extender as well. Ghost, if you don't know the combo, I think a lot of people do at this point, but I don't go into it as much. Depends what deck I'm playing against or what I have access to. Ghost, this is for this card, like, you need in this build. It's for Chaos Ruler essentially, and your Calamity play. And this card is like amazing. And with this card, if you summon this, usually you're not, if you're just going like your standard combo where you're trying to get the 4 bodies on board and like go for like the Gilgamesh and stuff, usually this card won't give you that full combo. But if you're going for the King Calamity combo, you can, if you have access to search this and you still have access to like your Necro, I'll show you guys later on what I'm talking about, but if you have like access to your like, Necro, Fusion Summon, and a Lamia, you can actually just have this as your 4th body, tribute something, and then they can't Nibiru you, and then you can just go for your full Calamity combo. So this card's really good, and it's also, you win a lot of games with this card just because its effect's amazing. So yeah, those are the 4 1-ofs, and that's it for what we're running for DDDs. And for the techs, we're main decking Triple Phantasme and Double Nibiru. So I wasn't lying when I was saying you only have room for high impact, really. I'd rather take away, I actually haven't noticed any hidden consistency. If anything, this actually helps, because Phantasme, if you're going second against something, pretty much any good deck right now will link summon. And when someone link summons, this helps unbrick your hand. And Phantasme is insane in this deck, because let's say we Phantasme them, and we're more than likely gonna have Lamia fall into our hand, right? So once you have Lamia, or what's also crazy is if you have Ghost or Lamia and you have Phantasme is already a level 7. You kind of want to, depending on what you're like, if you're playing against Dragon Link, you probably want this out on board because it stops a card that targets, right? That's really good too. But this is a level 7. It's also dark, so it's an alert banish. But if you draw into like a Lamia, you can normal summon Lamia, synchro these off, go in second, go into a Chaos Ruler effect. They're gonna have to do something to that. And if they just negate it, well, you can bring back Lamia and then summon a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. And or if you just summon Ghost, you just instantly get a 3200 body negate on board, right? It's pretty insane. Phantasme is nuts in this deck. I think it's honestly the best hand, one of the most impactful hand types of the format. We're playing Double Nibiru, so keep in mind that this is a light and this is a dark. So Chaos Ruler, when you mill, you're more than likely, by the time you're through your deck, you have like 30... Sorry, I'll put these back, they're kind of just bugging me. But by the time you use your Chaos Ruler effect, you've got about like 30 cards or something in your deck. You're gonna hit one of these, and you can add them to your hand. So on top of the really hard board they're gonna have to out, which you hit like realistically every time in this deck, unless you get like 2 interruptions, you're gonna have a Nibiru or a Phantasme in hand, and Phantasme draws into a Nibiru a lot. So that's why I just play the 2 Nibiru, because if I see Phantasme against a heavy link summoning deck, I'll just draw a bunch of cards, draws into Nibiru, then I can Nibiru them, and then just kill them with a Boral Sword. So that's amazing. Yeah, these cards, like I said, dark and light, so I have access to grab them from Chaos Ruler. So it's a solid reason why I'm playing them, and they work amazing with the deck. So yeah. So onto the spells, guys. You're playing triple. Don't need to explain this. You can play this at 2 if you want. It's up to you. Great extender card. I only ever use it for extending, really, but it's also really good. Actually, not really, actually. I actually end up having to grab this a lot because I don't have access to it. It replaces Swirl Slime, you know? So that's what's really good about it. It is extended through Nibiru and stuff. Or just going second helps make another... If they negate stuff, you can still make a fusion. and it helps you play around Inspector Border. It's actually how I beat my buddy Game 3. He had Inspector Border with his 8-axis, and I had this in hand so I could use monster effects. So yeah, that was actually pretty nuts. You can play that too if you want. It would not hurt to play that too. I just like it at 1 because you're playing Desires. So we're playing triple Desires for draw power, triple Lure. That's our draw cards. And I'll lay out all our consistency cards here. So Desires is a +1 in this deck. Sure, it banishes some bad cards, but you also have multiple ways to play this deck because you're playing like I'll get into my extra deck later, but Desires doesn't hurt you too bad because you usually have, as long as you're not banishing 3 Lamia and stuff, you're looking pretty good. It does happen sometimes, but it never really does. You gotta take that risk sometimes. War Art Thou, 2 Jack in the hand, and yeah, these are all our consistency cards. Only have room for 2. This card's amazing. This card and this are like full combo in this deck. It's crazy. If you grab Kepler, summon Kepler gets a piece. War Art Thou grabs the Lamia. You're going like pretty well full combo because once you access Chaos Ruler, you're probably gonna mill a Necro Slime. So that's just, these two together are just full combo as long as you can grab a Kepler, which, believe it or not, a lot of the time you actually do get the Kepler because they're thinking that you're gonna neg when you lose a Lamia or something. Depends who you're playing against. A lot of my buddies will always take the Kepler because it's like, if I have it, I have it. People don't know the deck though, they usually take the Lamia because it's just good on print card. And it's also a tuner that I'm losing, right? So, yeah. And the last one, to make this 40, 1-for-1, very standard card in this deck, sacks as any level 1. Yeah, there's not much explaining that. So that's 40 card spot. I'm gonna get into the extra deck here. Fusions, we're playing double mini Genghis, get 1 big Genghis. This is very standard. You can play D-Arc, you can play the big fusion, you can even play Beowulf if you really want to. There's not really much point in playing Beowulf right now. Unless you're playing like if you have Super Poly, I think you can play Beowulf because Beowulf just needs, I think, a level 5 or higher monster, something like that. So Beowulf's like a Super Poly target, but standard. This is second one's for follow-up plays or to play through a Nibiru, and this card's actually insane going second, just negating a Spell Trap, or just leaving this on board if they don't get rid of it. If they're playing like a back row deck and you keep this on board, you instantly have a negate. So if you're playing against back row deck and you have like this with Siegfried, they're already going against, and you have a satellite, right? They're already going against, they're losing 3 of their back rows, and they're already going against Siegfried and this. They're not gonna, back row decks will not survive against that. So yeah, unless they have like a broken line torrential, which doesn't happen ever, so you're not gonna run into that. So Synchros, 1 level 7 Alexander, standard for your combos. And the level 8s, so let's lay out the level 8s here. So playing Chaos Ruler, Crystal Wing, and Siegfried. So you're gonna notice I don't play Borreload, Savage Dragon. I don't have room for Borreload. I don't even have room to play Xyz in this build. But this card I'll always go into Borreload over top. I'd rather have this than Negate because this gives me access to Nibiru, Phantasme, and then cards in my graveyard to even, to say I don't hit a Necro Slime in my combo, I can just get a Necro Slime, continue with my combo, get full combo, you know what I mean? Like, this card is just absurd. It's insanely good in this deck. I should have never slept on this card in this deck, and it actually works very, very good in this deck. Almost like gives it like a meta presence kind of thing, right? So, yeah, I don't ever find myself needing the Borreload. It's the least powerful card. I mean, this realistically kind of is, but it's a DDD, right? And you can revive it from graveyard, helps trigger off your other cards, right? And then Crystal Link's the best synchro, level 8 synchro right now. It's a monster game. It's just a monster, right? Like, monster isn't like, this card's a beast monster. So yeah, that's what I'm playing. This card, oh yeah, this card's also nuts because when you have a formula, or say a Nibiru in graveyard, this card will just revive itself back, even on the same turn. So you can potentially summon it back and then just go into a hot red, right? So I never really summon hot red on my, speaking of hot red, Speaking of hot red, I never really go into hot red on turn 1. It's usually on my follow-up to get a monster to get out, because I'll summon this card back, get rid of it, and then summon Archfiend Abyss, so that's an Omni Negate on my turn. This card's actually amazing, this deck, especially when you're pairing with a Chaos Ruler. Like, there's no point in not playing this card. I don't always go into this, but when I do, it's just amazing cards. 3200 attack, and I can supposed to summon a tuner, and like, it's an Omni Negate, right? Like, very good card, easy level 9 to summon. And for the other synchros, last of the synchros, so we're playing the formula synchron, obviously, for Halka 5X, and Satellite Warrior and Hot Red. So this gives you options here. Playing both because Satellite Warrior, if I'm playing it, I'm usually just going to go for Satellite Warrior. If I don't have access to Ghost, obviously I'll go for the Satellite Warrior play. But if I'm playing against back row, or I know I'm going to play against back row, I'm going to go into Satellite Warrior. That just sets 5 kind of thing, right? But Hot Red against any other deck, really, I'm going to go into Hot Red because this card automatically wins. You just make sure Formula goes off as a Chain Link 1. Just find the right time to get this card out so you can make it a Chain Link 1. And once they let that through, you're going to win the game. Once this card's summoned, like I said, unless you're playing a back row deck, which you're probably not going to summon against a back row deck, you are not losing the game because your follow-up's just insane with the Chaos Dragon, or the Chaos Ruler and stuff, right? So, yeah, amazing card. Cards, like, I don't have to explain that card. Just says you can't play and just kills your opponent on the follow-up. So, Links, Ulti Health, Cross Sheep, Gilgamesh, and Boral Sword. So, like I said, no Xyz, don't have room for them. And I find I never really have to go into them. I've never had a situation where I go like, oh shit, I need an Xyz unless I draw like a Swirl and a Necro. But in this build, Swirl and Necro doesn't ever really come up too much. If it does, it's whatever. It's a brick's a brick. Every deck bricks, right? So, Ulti Hulk, just not going to explain how, Cross Sheep, Gilgamesh, and Boral Sword. Boral Sword, I feel like you really should be playing this deck because this card just wins me this is my biggest win con. It's so easy to climb into Boral Sword, and what you can do with a Boral Sword is like, if you're going second, say if you're going second, you will end up summoning, if you summon this, and you just do like your regular kind of combo, like fusion, blah blah blah, you get your bodies out on board, and you have like a Lamia, you use Rage, after you, not with Lamia's effect, like you just summon Lamia, you use Rage, tribute this, say no like Nibiru, so then you know you're going to kill them, right? And you revive this, go into a Hulk Special's a tuner, and instantly that's like, you have all the other bodies, and then this is on board. So you'll keep this on board. Boral Sword swings, they can't Nibiru you or anything, or hand trap you, or whatever, right? And Boral Sword swings, they lose their life points game. Like it's, Boral Sword is just a freaking powerhouse in this deck. And yeah, so that's it for the main deck and the extra deck. Let's crawl into the side deck that I played for Tuesday, and I find the side deck is actually really good, and it just perfectly works out. So perfectly balances out. So triple Dark Ruler, like you're playing Phantasme, so you're basically playing 6 copies of this card against combo. And you have Nibirus too, like the 2 Nibiru. It's just you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? And so triple Lancia, we hard lose to Dino. Well, you know what? Actually, now that we're playing Hot Red, we actually don't hard lose to Dino. Because if they don't have an answer to our board, we just go into Hot Red Calamity. And they can't do anything. But Lancia is just a really good card against like Shit All Invoked, Virtual World, Dino, it's an auto win. Auto shut off anyways. And this is also a light, so you can grab it off of Ruler. That's another reason why you should be playing Chaos Ruler, you know what I mean? Gives you any access to all your powerful hand traps, as you see with like Dragon Link, right? So on to the next one. Triple anti-spell, you lose to Dark Ruler, essentially. So everyone's playing Dark Ruler over droplets realistically now, more than likely. Anti-spell shuts that out, and a lot of people's main deck cards, like combo decks, kind of need spells. Even Dinos, this is really good against Dino, like stuff like that. Just depends on what people have, right? Like anti-spell just realistically can shut out like 3 cards instantly from someone's hand, you know what I mean? It's so worth playing, and you don't have to deal with Ruler once that's up. And you can negate this with Siegfried, right? If you really want to, if you draw into a spell. Evenly matched, this card is insane, man. Like, you have nothing up, you go against back row decks, you evenly match, you're probably going to win if you resolve an evenly match against back row. And yeah, so that's back row hate, and like sometimes this actually works against combo depending on what kind of combo deck you're playing against. And then for the last one, that was more back row hate. Feather Duster, Orthros, Pankratops. Orthros, you really should be side decking or main decking if you want. I don't like this in the main deck, but you really should have like this in your deck in general, like main or side, because when people have floodgates, a lot of people are playing like Mystic Mine, like in Dinos especially, people have Mystic Mine. They're gonna think that, they can just sit on that for a while. You can just, as long as you have like OTK in your hand, you just wait till you have OTK in your hand. You search Orthros with Gate. Orthros pops the mine, go for game. And then Feather Duster and Pankratops. Pankratops like a god card. It's also level 7 if you really need. And Feather Duster is also like the crazy one of, right? So yeah, I find that's just an insane insanely good side deck. It's the best working one for me for this deck. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna showcase you a couple combos, and yeah, I should never leave you guys without combos, right? So yeah, I'll get right into that. And I fixed up. Deck has really easy access to this. You're usually probably gonna search this. This probably usually be like Necro Slime from your access level ones, right? But just say this is in our hand, and this is like we got access to all these other cards. Just say, this is sorry. Whew. This is going to be full access while playing around Nibiru to our full combo. There's a lot of different ways you can, as long as you have access to like Swirl Slime, your Lammy, and your Necro Slime, and Chaos Ruler will, if you don't have access to the Necro Slime, Chaos Ruler still will probably foolish a Necro Slime, theoretically. So that's also a way to get into it. You're just going to rely on getting the Necro Slime engraved, right? So anyways, we're just going to hop right into it. Gate. Yep, Necro Slime. So use your hand. And normal summon a Lamia. You're gonna use Swirl Slime effect here with the Necro, or the other one, doesn't matter. Whichever one you don't want DD crowed. Banish Swirl Slime to special summon. You're gonna special summon the Rage. That triggers special summon. You're gonna use Rage effect here, and you're gonna send the Necro Slime. Tribute for cost, and turn off Nibiru. They can't use any hand traps for the rest of the turn. At that point, you know you're good. So you're going to use these two, the Lamia and the Rage, and you're going to special summon Ulti Hulk. Ulti Hulk will activate. You don't need to use Ulti Hulk if you don't have it. So you're going to summon Ghost here. So Ghost is your level 2 tuner that you're going to need for your for this combo, because you need Ghost out for King Calamity, as a lot of you probably know. So we're going to use these. Set Chaos Rulers. So Chain Link 1, you're going to make Chain Link 1 Chaos Ruler and then Chain Link 2 Ghosts. For one, you're chain blocking Chaos Ruler, which is actually pretty good, but I mean, they can't use hand traps, right? So it doesn't really matter. And Ghost is going to be able to thin your deck out a bit more. You're going to send probably want to send a Lamia here, just because you're going to use Lamia's effect, so you have another one for follow-up. Probably want the Lamia more than the Necro Slime, to be honest. And you're probably going to hit a Necro Slime. So you're just deck thinning here, really. My deck's all organized, so I have no idea what I'm about to mill. Let's just see. In here. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we clearly hit the... I guess that was like shuffled decently. Doesn't matter, you're probably going to take Copernicus here and just send all the others to grave. Like I said, we just hit a Necro Slime, so yeah. It'd be nice to like a Nibiru or something, right? But now here you're going to use Necro Slime. After you resolve Chaos Ruler, use that and the Genghis. And you're going to special summon Big Genghis. And you're probably going to want to keep Gate, because you're going to want to access this next turn. So you're going to use Lamia effects, sending the card that you just searched, the Copernicus, to special summon Lamia back with her own effect, and that's going to trigger Genghis special Ghost back. So now this is your full combo. Reason being is because on their turn, you're going to chain Hulk out Chain Link 1, or it doesn't matter, because you're going to summon Formula, and then you're going to wait till you're going to want to make Formula Chain Link 1 to be able to use quick effects Synchro Summon. Use all 4 of these, or sorry, all 3 of these. Summon Hot Red, Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, and then there you go. Your follow-up is a search. You have another card in your hand, so there you go. There's your draw, and then if you want to, you can make Formula draw if you want to. Sometimes I just feel like the draw is not necessary. I just rather quickly jump as fast as I can, jump into the King Calamity to make it, because this has to be Chain Link 1. But let's just say we drew, just because. Here's your follow-up. You have a Gate search, and your Chaos Ruler comes back while you still have a Necro and a Lamia. You're not going to lose that game, clearly. And yeah, that's the combo I just wanted to show you guys. I do showcase all the other combos in like a lot of my videos. But yeah, that's just like a combo I just wanted to show you guys quick how you can play around Nibiru. And in this deck, which is actually fairly easy, it comes up a lot game 3 if you wanted to search this, play around the Nibiru. Because like I said, realistically, you can do that whole combo and then use Chaos Ruler to just rely on getting a Necro Slime, and that will work for you. Because in worst case scenario, if you don't hit a Necro Slime, and what you can do is just summon the Formula and then just go into a Satellite Warrior worst case scenario, right? So it's not really worth it at that point. But yeah, you're probably gonna hit a Necro Slime, but Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. That's the only, like I said, that's the only combo I'm going to showcase you, because I do showcase a lot of the other combos in the videos. But I hope that one helped. It's just, like I said, how you play around Nibiru, go full combo. I'd really only access, like I said, if I do see the full combo, like the Necro Slime and stuff, just so I am assured. And yeah, hope you guys liked it, and see you next time.